Morning everybody, I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV up here in Frederick, Colorado. Right off Interstate 25 off there, over there about 30 minutes north of Denver. You can't miss us. Ton of inventory on the lot. We've got it rotating through right now exponentially, I think, to be honest. So we've got a lot of new inventory coming in. Behind me today is one of those units, and even a bit more of a standout in Cimarron's charcoal metallic finish, which I really like. I think these are slick looking trailers. So this is what I think might be rivaling the 2+1s in popularity now. We're seeing a lot of interest in these, a lot of different reasons for that, but maybe a little bit of that carryover, same versatility and a lot of versatility you get out of the 2+1. So this is a 2-horse straight load. Bumper pull, obviously, Norstar, with the side ramp. So we've got a traveling divider inside of there. We'll talk a lot about that, but the side ramp is a really awesome feature of this trailer, and certainly we'll go into that when we get there. But really quick, while we're up front here, we want to talk about our hitch. I think one of the most important aspects of any trailer is your coupling mechanism, whether it's a gooseneck or a bumper pull. So always make sure you have the right size ball. All our Cimarron bumper pulls are running 2 5/16 inch balls, so make sure you have the appropriate size coupler for that. We've got big heavy duty safety chains, small touches on the Cimarrons that I like, somewhere to hang those as well. Keep them out of the ground in the wintertime, keep them out of the mud if you're getting some rain. And then we do have a breakaway cable as well for our emergency braking system. Again, small thing with the Cimarrons, I like that little kind of curled or coiled cable there. It keeps us from getting tangled up as well. And then we are a 7-pin connection. You see we've just got it plugged into a battery box to run some lights for you today, which we're nice and sunny, you might not see those. This is a manual crank jack. You'll see a lot of our goosenecks we do an electric over hydraulic version, which is press of a button, really nice. On these smaller bumper pulls we can get away with just the electric version of it. Really simple system, up and down, press of a button. The bonus, if you add that service to it, first and foremost, we can do it for you here at Transwest. But secondarily to that is you'll get a 12-volt deep cycle battery service on the trailer. So even when you're not hooked up to a truck, you can run some lights on the trailer. If you want to get into your tack room early in the morning, late at night when it's dark, you can get in there, flip some light switches on, or the same in the horse area or the stall area as well. So we'll get into our tack really quick. You will see a big awning light above that. Nice to shed some light on things. With the LED awning lights and the Opti brights inside, you can really turn night into day with these trailers. So flip out step, there's no hardware for that. A lot of people come up and ask and say, how do I remove it? How do I lower it down? It's on the gas shock there. Really nice, that holds us in that closed position, and then all we have to do is flip it down. There's no pin or anything like that. Get our tack room opened up here. You will see right away on our door, nice little brush box here. So all gonna throw some fly spray in there, all are gonna throw some show sheen or hoof paint in there. Whatever we want some quick, easy access to, it's gonna be nice to have it in there. And you'll see as well a couple drain holes in there. So as soon as your first bottle of fly spray spills in there, you can at least wash it out pretty easily and get things drained out in there. So stepping into the tack room, you'll see on our floor, we are a rubber matted floor in here. Really easy to clean this out, really easy to pull this mat out too if you want to do a deep clean on it. But nice and simple, sweep it out, you've got that easy access. You will see on our wall over here, a bit of our wiring connections, a bit of our 12-volt battery disconnect or breakaway disconnect for our brakes. But really nice added feature now is matching aluminum wheel and tire that matches what we've got on the ground now. So if you want to add it into your tire rotation, buy a little more life out of all of your tires, you're paying for a full-size matching wheel and tire there. Or if you've got a flat, and everybody's seen the older trailers with the steel wheel that's been sitting outside and looks awful by the time you need to use it. Really nice to have this matching spare and keep it inside of here and keep it very well protected. So just above that, and we missed it on the door too, but you've got a couple bus windows in here so you can get some air moving through this trailer. We'll talk about the one in the wall behind me as well. But if you want to move some air through this trailer, if you're done showing for a long weekend and you've got some sweaty saddle pads right here on these poles, you can get some air moving over those. You're not going to get some of that wet, musty smell that you certainly get in the air, or the sweaty smell that we get from all our equipment that's in these small little enclosed areas. So let's talk saddle racks and blanket poles for a second. First and foremost, we keep these exact parts in our parts department, in stock majority of the time, and it's really easy to add to these. If you want to pull these blanket poles off, it's as simple as loosening a couple bolts here, and we can slide this right out of the top of this track. And again, if you want to add another saddle rack and delete a couple of these poles, whatever you feel comfortable with room wise, with the height of your saddles and kind of what your equipment you're working with, you have that ability to really change it up and use it how you please. So again, you can add to these, you can subtract to these, and they'll go anywhere you want. If you want to drop it to the floor or raise it to the roof, you get a lot more variety out of that too. So this is our partition wall, obviously, between our tack room and our stall area. Everybody kind of asks why the window. Really, you can get, like I said, you can get that cross breeze going through this trailer. If you've had a long weekend, we've been in the 90s all week and expect to be next week too. So you're going to be hot. Everybody's going to be sweating. It shows. And especially all your saddle pads are going to be soaked. So nice to be able to move some air through these trailers. And then moving off to the corner of the trailer is where we've got all our hanging storage. So we always talk about these areas being carpeted. We've all seen the used trailers on the market. We've all owned the trailers that have all those marks from our headgear and our bits and everything metal banging against these walls. So first and foremost, really holds our resale really, really nicely. Quiets things down too. Acts as a bit of a sound deadener. So obviously our shared wall here with our horses in the next compartment over. So really makes a lot of different aspects of Cimarron make them ride quiet, but this is just one of them. We'll talk about a few more when we get to the back. Stepping back out of here, again, really nice space to kind of utilize as you please. Cimarron does a nice job with the holdbacks on the doors, so if you've got a windy day, you've got that ability to hold them back. And then before we miss it too, we've done an extra tall tread bright on this trailer. It really protects the nose of these trailers, especially these metallic finishes or these darker trailers. Want to protect that from those rock chips. So wrapped all the way around the front of the nose, you've got that option as well. So let's talk side ramp for a second. Side ramp gives you a lot of different options. Whether you've got a horse that doesn't like to back off the ramp, they've got some stiff stifles, hocks or something like that, and you're trying to make life a little bit easier on them, you really have the ease of dropping a chest bar. We'll get into the side of it, and you can walk both your horses' heads right around here. I'm going to move this so you get an idea that you can even get your driver's side horse right around that headspace, and you can walk straight out this ramp, and you really have easy access and ability to do that. Secondarily, you can certainly use it for a bit of storage if you wanted to add some ways to tie down some equipment here, if you weren't worried about somebody pawing or anything like that. And then my number one sell on these is it's a really nice safety aspect. You now have two entrances and exits, more importantly, exits out of your trailer. God forbid something ever happened, it's just an added exit plan. So I like that for a safety aspect of it. So we'll close up the inside, or we'll close up the side ramp, give you a look down the side of the trailer and talk a little bit about running gear for a second and tires and suspension. But then we'll get into the inside of this unit and really show you some of the cool options they've done inside of it. Number one is being the traveling partition. So we'll close this up. Just like our tack room, the whole trailer is going to be keyed alike. So all these paddle latches you can lock tight. If you want to store a couple extra totes or trunks in your trailer, you have the ability to even lock up this compartment as well. So like I said, getting out to the outside of it, we've got a couple of tie rings here if you do want to tie up, get yourself tacked up. You're right next to your tack room wall, obviously. Let's talk about running gear for just a second. We are on 16-inch aluminum wheels. Like we talked about, we've got that matching spare inside. And then Goodyear tires, I think that should speak for itself. Really high-end name brand tire on there. And then axles on these side ramp trailers, we build them up a little bit from the 3,500 pound axles that you'll see on a lot of our smaller bumper pulls. These are 5,200 pound Dexter torsion axles with electric drum brakes. So big thing with the electric drum brakes, make sure you have a trailer brake controller in your tow vehicle. Make sure you have the ability to dial in those brakes and always change those settings. Obviously this trailer is going to weigh a lot more when you add a couple horses to it and all of your tack. So you want to be able to control those settings as well. Working our way around to the back of the trailer, also ramped here in the back for the straight load aspect of that. It makes for really easy loading. And you can see the angle of our ramp too is not very steep. Doesn't always come out in the videos very well, the steepness of these ramps. But again, really easy load angle on these. Our butt bars and our chest bars, what we're gonna see first and foremost is that every connection that we have is gonna be plastic on metal. So we talked about keeping the ride quiet in these trailers, and that's gonna be a major factor in that. You see it in our slam loads, or in our slant loads with the slam latch styles, with those dividers that fit in the latch like that. That's also a metal on plastic connection. And they're still doing the same thing with these straight loads with the butt bars like that, so you don't have all of that rattling. So I'm gonna start pulling all these down and dropping all of these down so that I can show you our traveling partition. And so the versatility that this gives us and the options that this gives us is we don't have to find a friend anymore to help us take our partition out of the trailer and manhandle a big ordeal. We don't have to decide if we're going on a road trip that we want to haul one of our horses alone in a box stall for the long trip, but then all of a sudden a friend's horse needs a ride back home. We don't have to decide if we're leaving the partition at home or not. Talking to you guys, I got to get on the other side of it. Unpinned 4 pins, all spring loaded. We don't have to remove the butt or the chest bars at all. Oh, there's 5 pins. There's one at the head as well. And we get this guy, it's fighting me a little bit because we're leaning towards the passenger side. But once he gets against a couple chest bars there, we can get it pinned pretty easily. And you're done. Couple up front. Whether you're gonna multi-purpose this trailer and you wanna get a small load of hay, haul your mower in for service, you now have a completely empty box up here. Again, the versatility you get out of that, I used to work in the breeding industry. The ability to make a small trailer like this really comfortable for a mare and foal would have been amazingly handy to have a small runaround like this. Again, just the versatility, the ability, in just less than 90 seconds I think it took. And on video, which usually something always goes wrong when you're trying to video it, I did that and we're over there and we didn't have to decide to take it with us. We didn't have to get a friend to help us. We didn't have to drag our feet or bust our shins walking back out with it. And it is, you'll see, very similar to a barn door roller. It's a very simple system and really, really easy to use. So let's talk about a couple other options inside the trailer while we're in here and we've got it wide open. First and foremost, this is a rubber matted trailer over Cimarron's standard across the board aluminum flooring. Pull up a mat here for you to have a quick look. It's second to none. It's really hard to compare to anybody else. They do 4-inch on centers. It's kind of a ton and grooves type style that fits together. And again, like I said, really hard to compare to anybody else. With the rubber matted trailers, our suggestion on maintenance and upkeep, depending on usage, pull your mats once a year, pressure wash these guys out, dump some baking soda in these guys to counteract some of that acidity from the urine that you'll get. On the Cimarrons, your other option to get away from the rubber mats is worm flooring. Worm is an acronym for we eliminate rubber mats. They clean up these floors really well. Prep is a big part of that process. But what they do is they pour in a rubberized flooring. It's a non-porous material, so nothing, any of that urine is ever going to get down to that aluminum floor, so you don't have to ever worry about that. And with a bit of good housekeeping, and same once a year pressure washing it out, you're going to get a long life out of those floors. So some bus windows, really oversized here on the backs of both horses. We can open up the oversized bus window above the ramp, but then below that, you'll see really tall rubber kick mats along the side, and then a big padded divider over there. So when you do have this set up as a straight load, you've got a lot comfortable, smooth surface for your horses to ride, a really safe place for them to ride too. You'll see we've got a couple tie hooks too. We've got one on the partition and one on this side. So again, when you have it set up as a straight load, you have the ability to tie hay nut on one side, tie your horse's head on the other if you want. and then a couple of opti brights in this thing. We talk everything's LED in the trailer, from the marker lights to the awning lights outside, and these things really will turn night into day. While we're still looking up, we'll talk real quickly about Cimarron's roofing. They do an insulated panel. It's about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. It's the honeycomb type material. First and foremost, we see a lot of insulation factor out of it, R3 in fact. And with that, with standing out here in a comparable trailer, I'm sweating today already and it's early in the morning. But if we got a competitor's trailer out here, we see and have and done it before, a 10 to a 15 degree difference inside those trailers. So it makes a big difference. Secondarily to that, has a great structural factor to it as well too. So don't have to find those crossbows or cross members to walk across if you're doing any maintenance up on your roof. Secondarily to that, these hold up really well out here in hail country too. So up in the roof line as well, we're a 7'7" tall trailer, so I'm not quite gonna reach, nor am I gonna try. But we've got some two-way roof vents above the head of each horse as well. So summertime, want to pull those open and forward and suck a lot of air in through the trailer, move a lot of air through the trailer. Wintertime, you can reverse those as well. And then obviously behind me, more kick mats on all our open walls that you see throughout the trailer, and then you'll see that pass-through window as well into the tack room. And then we'll talk a little bit about the escape door on driver's side too. But just a nice easy area once you've got things loaded up for you to pop out if you want. Easy access too if you're on the road and you're looking to add some water, offer some water or some hay or something like that. And again, really, I think solid partition top to bottom, as you can see as well, with the airflow on the top half. So, excuse me, you're getting that stud divider aspect, and really this would be a pretty awkward piece to try and move by yourself. Even though it's aluminum and pretty light, it would be a tough piece. So nice to have that traveling divider option, and really one of the more desirable aspects in my mind of this trailer. So we'll close up the rear ramp here. When we walk around to the driver's side, we'll talk these double Dutch doors above the ramp are designed to be driven with the trailer open. Same paddle latches that we've got here on the back, so if you want to be even more secure about it, you can certainly lock those as well. But nice to be able to add a little airflow with that. So a couple of things, we talked LEDs, low power draw, great for our tow vehicles. We're not killing batteries, doing anything crazy. Nice for the running lights, really bright at night. Secondarily, and made it really easy for Cimarron to add these standard now into all of their trailers, is a white LED reverse light in all four as well. So anytime you throw your tow vehicle into reverse, you're gonna light those up, gonna help light things up for you and make things a lot easier night or day. Down here, we've got control of our outside awning lights on both sides of the trailer and the rear over the rear ramp, and then also our interior lights in our stock area. We'll have separate control of the tack room at the tack room. Coming back around, these are those Dutch doors we were talking about over the rear of the trailer. Again, with that keyed paddle latch, you can easily lock those in place and run with this running down the trailer. A couple more tie rings on this side to make life a little bit easier. Parking situations always sometimes dictate where you're tacking up, whether your tack room's on one side or the other. I've got this door tied back right now, but we do have a man door on driver's side. Really like this, easy access if you need to check on somebody. And anywhere we share space, we'll double latch doors like that. We've also got a big drop window in this man door as well. So with this, you can move a lot of air through these trailers. If you are running it as a box, you can certainly drop this window down, offer a little more hay or water or something like that. Raise it back up before you take off. And then summertime, absolutely gonna run these windows down all the time. You've got a nice big suction cup here that hold them tight against it. And then wintertime, we're still putting a bus window in there. So if it is a freezing day or below freezing day, you can still move a little air through this trailer. You certainly don't want them to be closed up in there tight. So again, I like the standout color of this. I like these charcoal trailers quite a bit. It is a charcoal metallic, so you've got a little metal flake in there, metallic flake. Like the look of these. We've all seen white horse trailers going down the road, so I think these look Really, really cool. This is what we would call a Cimarron 2-horse bumper pull with a side ramp. And again, we've got a couple different options. If the charcoal is not your cup of tea, we've got a silver and we've also got a white on the lot, and we've always got some on the build schedule. If you have any questions about this trailer, if you have questions about weights and capacities, tow vehicles, this would certainly be a trailer for a larger SUV or a half-ton, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. My cell phone's 859-509-1282. Call me or text me anytime. Reference this trailer online directly. That's its stock number, 5N250449. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.